Move and be moved by these savings right now at Team Mazda. Choose a new 25 Mazda CX-50, Mazda CX-70, or Mazda CX-90 and get low 1.9% financing. Discover the Mazda experience and save right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
In college, did you ever have a job selling knives? People would go door to door selling those vector knives.
Sharpeners. That's still a thing. Hey, morning, everybody. Welcome to the
bought one $200 Cutco knife from a student back in 1985. Still have it.
See, so they actually hold their value. Then they're pretty good.
And when he said Cutco, I was about to hold you and protect you from him.
Thanks,
I didn't know what this guy was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not.
I see what you did there. I like that.
It's Friday. I've had a long week. I'm old, tired, fat, worn out. You know.
You are none of the above.
Hey, you're playing old time, fat, and worn out. You're playing DJ over there. That's one of the great things about one of the many things that we love about Johnny, the old school cool that he is. DJ Johnny A in the back over there, running through some '80s tunes that I'm sure you
disco
spun.
era and the '80s and into the '90s with the rap.
All
and
the good stuff.
You know, '80s were some of the greatest music.
No, it is. It truly is.
Tell us what you shared earlier about how the mood and the feeling of the decades of music.
Oh, no, this wasn't me, but I feel it. I didn't come up with it, whatever. I feel this, and then I saw this on social media the other day. It was talking about the songs that maybe people of my age listen to during a hot summer month, that kind of hot summertime. The 80s songs are built for hot summer days. The 70s songs are built for hot summer nights. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did that lady know
makes such sense
my
to me.
tunes? I'm like, that's not far off from that, because you and I were just talking about, and I just found out that my favorite song is your favorite song as well. Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. And those are one of those songs where you hear it, you're driving along. It is
crank it.
Puts you in a good
It's up. The
feeling.
windows are down. I don't care how hot it is. It's that daytime, and then
those were those definitive groups of the 80s,
so
the Tears
good.
for Fears, Madonna, of course, Prince,
just
Michael
playing
Jackson.
all the
all of these. And then you had the alternative stuff, like the Cult and the Cure and some of those great groups.
Sure. But see, I also got to live in a time where so fortunate. I grew up in the 80s, but then got to experience the 90s. And I loved all my pop and everything, but I also loved the transformation when grunge came in and Nirvana started popping and Pearl Jam was out there. I got to experience just this wide range, so eclectic, and felt so lucky to be a part of it.
And that's why your kids are lucky too, because they now get to experience some of that
It's funny
joy
listening to that. Well, they love just a wide variety, and I love that they love the wide variety. That's awesome.
Speaking of that '90s grunge, what the heck were we so angry about?
I know we got angry.
That stuff was good.
That the Y2K was coming, maybe?
No, this was like early '90s. And Y2K wasn't a thought back then.
You're right at that point. Here's the thing, though, about the angry. I'll take that angry compared to apparently this day. Everybody angry about something these days. I'll take the faux grunge angry as it compared to people sideways these days.
I was in it. I had my closet of flannel shirts and everything.
Baby.
I wish we had the BMI and the ASCAP license here. Too, it's very expensive.
It is very.
Because we've been doing '80s dance party in the break.
Oh, and it's been so much fun.
And we would love to share that with you guys.
Yes.
But we can't.
So much fun.
We can't.
We can play about 12 seconds of it, then we got to turn
Is that the rule? Is it 12 seconds?
Well, that was the rule about 10 years ago. We can play about 12 seconds of it, then we got to turn it down. And then we got to, But here's the thing, the FCC has no say over streaming. But I don't know that ASCAP would give a darn. So anyway.
I mean, like what happens after 12 seconds? Do the cops come in and be like, sir, I'm going to have to take you away?
I think it's if we're reported.
If you're listening, then you know what? There is somebody out there that will report it. So we need to tread carefully.
Yeah, what's his name? No, I'm sorry.
We know you.
Karen. Stir in the pot. Stir in the pot.
Okay, I can't wait for you to go to this next shot.
Well, we will, we don't have to do
Well, we've been shaking our tail feathers all morning long because Johnny's been playing the great music. But I think that you've got a bird shaking its tail feather. What is this?
Is that a bird?
Or it's a tarantula?
I don't think it's a wasp. It's on that camera across in Port Allen, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Wow. So it could be a bird. It could be a bee.
Could be
Or is it Spider-Man?
It could be that thing that fell out of the sky yesterday.
Oh,
whatever
in
that
South
was.
Carolina?
Yeah,
Whatever.
The boot-tids
Whatever
meteoroid?
that was.
Yeah.
All right, well, maybe it's a bird or a bee. I didn't think I'd be talking birds and bees in my forecast today, but here we are. All right, if this thing could just get out of the way for 2 seconds, it's actually a really nice, yeah, no, he's not doing it. It's a really nice shot over the downtown area, 77 degrees. Yeah, I think you're right, Liz, shaking the tail feather over there. Scattered thunderstorms expected in the afternoon. More triple-digit heat, but maybe a little bit less as we get to Sunday, Monday with a rise in rain chances. Not a washout, though. And in the extended, we're looking at the tropics and we're looking at the Gulf for the next possible wave. We'll talk about that. Nothing really doing on our live local radar. You see one little popcorn thunderstorm trying to get going just off to the south of the Baton Rouge area. You see it right here at the very end of this loop. Other than that little isolated storm, it looks like the radar is relatively quiet. Meantime, high pressure is going to kick out or eject out to the east, and then we catch the return flow, bringing in all that tropical moisture, that Gulf moisture, and that's going to pump up the chance of rain. Starts with this afternoon. There's the graph model bringing a couple storms in right by the midpoint of the day. Then in the afternoon, a better chance where the radar begins to fill in. Not really expecting anything severe for today. I'll show you in a second. We do have a level 1 marginal risk. And then it looks like everything falls right off of the radar after we get dark out. There's that level 1 I was talking about, more for the afternoon and the early part of the evening. The primary risk would be strong winds. Nothing tornadic, nothing crazy expected there. Now, let's shift gears a little bit, shall we, and talk about the tropics as we first start things out over in the Atlantic, although actually here on this shot, we're looking at both the Atlantic and we've got to look at the EPAC as well, going in the Eastern Pacific, and we see a couple of areas of flare-up. Number 1 right here, going right near the Yucatan Peninsula. This system has a chance to get into the southern Gulf as we get to next week. Right now, a very low chance at about 20%, but there is a chance of some tropical development. So we'll keep an eye on that. Not expected to affect us locally, but we'll keep an eye on it nevertheless. This guy right here has been sitting at a very high chance. That should become the next named storm, the 6th named storm already for the Eastern Pacific. As for the water temperatures, they are actually very close to where they should be this time of year, right in the central part, right in the heart of the Gulf right now, showing a sea surface temperature of 85 degrees. But the good news is the African dust continues to surge off the African coast, and that sometimes can help kind of suppress any kind of tropical development. And that dust is going to be right in the same area as that system, and it pumps into the Gulf. So hopefully that's going to help keep a lid on that, and I think it actually could. For today, 93 for a high, 50% chance, slightly better chance in the afternoon. Then as we get to this evening, we'll keep in the 30% chance early, then we'll drop that with an overnight low at 74 degrees. Again, the weekend is not a washout, but if you're planning your outdoor weekend, I would say Saturday morning and early Sunday might be better. In the afternoon, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more on the wet side. So I've taken us down to 91 for a high on Sunday and Monday, and that's probably the best that we're going to do as far as temperatures. And then as we get to the 4th of July Friday, I think the fireworks should be in good shape. 7:10, Johnny A, are the roads in good shape?
Doing pretty good. Essen Lane's getting a little bit busy between the two interstates and then past the toward the medical center. That's creating off and on again traffic. If you're getting off at Essen on I-10 eastbound off of Essen Lane, that far right lane, you continue on. Don't stop as you make your way out toward the medical center. Here's I-10 near our Gordon McKernan First Alert traffic camera right there at College, all the way into the downtown area. Our problem area right now continues to be over on for folks on the North Shore. If you are on the North Shore, need to remind you that the causeway southbound is still closed. There's no backup on that causeway because they're prohibiting you from actually getting on it right here in Mandeville. There's a wreck blocking both lanes of the causeway right there. I guess you could take maybe 190 out of go over toward Slidell and take Highway 11, take that down toward New Orleans or the Twin Spans. You could even go backward and go to Hammond and take I-55, but right now southbound causeway temporarily closed. It is 7:11. You're watching WAFB 9 News Now. We do it every morning at 7, then again at 3:30 in the afternoon and 9 at night. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hey, folks, real quick, some things we're following for you today. We got Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. expected in Louisiana. Bill signing with Governor Jeff Landry.
That's it. We've got some state legislators during this session this year signing some health bills, passing some measures there at the state capitol. This has to do with impacts about dyes and different additives in our foods. Could this be some changes to the school food options? That would come in 2027 after the bill is signed.
We're expecting the Supreme Court to hand down some decisions today, half a dozen or so, the final day of its current session, as it were. One of them includes a big conversation when it comes to how folks vote in Louisiana.
The congressional maps that we've been talking about here. The U.S. Supreme Court expected to issue some guidance. They're supposed to decide on a challenge over the congressional districts and how far the states can go when it considers race in that decision. We are watching the Supreme Court closely for that opinion today.
Do you need a little bit of help with maybe your utility bills? Maybe you don't know exactly what's going on with them, would like a few bit of resources with how to do this and that. Great opportunity today at the Goodwood Library.
Office of Social Services is setting up a mobile unit outside of the main library on Goodwood from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you need help with any of your utility bills or you have questions, they're asking that you bring a photo ID, your actual utility bill, and photocopies of your proof of residency so they can kind of help you out.
How about Baton Rouge Pride this weekend? It's the River Center downtown, a number of hours, whole bunch going on. We actually had them on the show.
That's it.
Talking all about how much fun this one is going to be. Family event, just 100% safe for everybody. It's going on this weekend.
It is at the Raising Cane's River Center. Easy places to park right around there. If you'd like to see the lineup of events, Taylor Danes was there last year. It's going to be a fabulous event this weekend. You can find those details there on the BR Pride website.
And how about an event looking to help one of our own who serves the community, a fundraiser, a benefit for Sergeant Caleb Eisworth?
So if you're interested in helping out his family with their medical expenses, tomorrow the Basin Music Hall, downtown Baton Rouge on 3rd Street, they're hosting a fundraiser concert with 5 different acts. There's going to be music, there's going to be drinks, there's going to be a lot more starting at 4 in the afternoon tomorrow.
There you go.
A lot happening this weekend.
Yeah, there really is.
I know.
It's long recovery.
Yeah.
We're keeping him in our prayers. We certainly are. But be prepared for another hot weekend on tap.
Right now is Tundra time at Team Toyota, where you can get 0% financing on a new 25 Tundra or get $3,000 customer cash plus $1,000 trade-in allowance. Find these savings and so much more right now at Team Toyota, I-12 at O'Neill.